Thank you so much for joining us today. We're very happy to have you here. We know and understand this is a difficult situation for everybody, for all of us during these times, and we're here to help you as much as we can. I have here with me Amit Dranger. He's the product manager in our Wix Promote team. So thank you so much for coming, and Amit is gonna start.
Thank you, Ariel. So I'm also really excited to be here, and I'm really happy to see so many people joining. So just a few words about myself. I'm a product manager in Wix Promote, and Wix Promote is a team that's inside Wix that's works only on the marketing tools and basically offering as many tools to our users to help them promote and grow their business. And one of our newest tools and the most exciting ones, I would say, is Facebook ads, which I'm going to share with you and talk about today. Cool. So let's start. I'm going to share my presentation. Cool. So Facebook ads. So before we begin, I want to say a few words about advertising on Facebook and Instagram in general. So in today's world, in today's marketing world, we know that organic content is not enough. In order to reach the right audience and to make sure your business is out there, you have to run paid ads. And it doesn't matter if it's on Facebook or Instagram or Google. All those channels can be relevant, but you must use paid ads to reach the right audience. And we know that creating an ad that is converting and bringing results is not such an easy task. So today, there are many things that you need to do in order to run a successful campaign. And it starts from choosing the type of ad that you're going to run. So there are many different types that you can choose from. It can be a carousel, or it can be an ad, a video ad on Instagram. There are many, many different types. And it's not so trivial to know which one you should choose for your business. In addition, there's all the technical setup. So in some types of ads, you have to make sure you have the Facebook pixel installed on your site so you can gather data on what's happening on your site and optimize based on that. In addition, if you have a store, then obviously you want to sync your store catalog with your Facebook to make sure that everything is synchronized. All of these things require some skills and expertise, and it's something that's not so super simple for each one of us. In addition, there's the world of targeting and finding the right people. And I'm sure many of you have already tried Facebook advertising, and you know how complicated that part might be. There are so many different options. I have to say, myself, trying to run ads, a lot of times I find it super complicated, and there are many, many different options. In addition, there's measuring the success of your campaign. So measuring the key metrics, testing what works, and then optimizing based on that. So I said a lot of different things, and all of these things are things that you have to take into consideration once you want to run a campaign. And I think especially during this time, if we talk about the coronavirus and everything that's happening, I'm sure all of you guys are asking yourself, is it a good time to advertise? So I think the answer is not, like, I can't say for sure that all of you should do that, but I can say a few things. One is that it's not really a choice. Like, we know that specifically in this time, we have to advertise on digital media, because other options like word of mouth that I'm sure many of you rely on are not really available at this time. In addition, it is a great way to reach new customers on social media, but also it's a good way to still engage with your current customers. So that there are many ways using paid campaigns where you can reach those people who've already purchased or already engaged with your business. Also, I think a very important point is that we have much more time now. So many of us are at home, we have more time, And it's a great opportunity, if we look at it that way, to invest in our online business and take a look at our site, make sure that it's, it has all the essentials in order to advertise. Also our social media presence. So we want to take a look at our Facebook page and our Instagram account and making sure that they're, as professional as they can be. So I'm going to talk about it a bit in a few minutes about what it takes to get your store as ready as possible for advertising. And I think the last thing is to be creative and to adapt to the situation. You have to come up with different ideas on how you can attract new customers and existing customers. It can be using sales, special sales. It can be offering free shipping. We have to be really adaptive to the situation and make sure we find those incentives that can work. So let's talk about how do we fit in to this story. So I can say that after years, a lot of years of research and testing ads on many types of businesses, we found a formula that we know for sure, because we've seen amazing results, that works for small and medium businesses. And that's what I'm going to show you today. In addition, we work very closely. We partner with Facebook on creating this product and making sure that it follows the best practices and that this integration works smoothly for our users. And the last thing is we have a team that's fully dedicated to make sure we offer you guys the best product possible. So that's what we did. And last October, we launched the exciting new product called Facebook Ads, which lets you easily create, run, and track paid ad campaigns on Facebook and on Instagram. That's really important to say. It's both on Facebook and on the Instagram. So before I'm going to show you the product, I'm going to think a bit about, some of our user stories. I want to share some amazing stories. So take a look at this one, Casa Design Furniture. This user has been using Facebook ads for a few months now. And you can see that he invested about $700 so far in his campaign. And he's already got almost 50 orders with a total revenue of $60,000. That's amazing. Like, if you look at the percentage of return on ad spend, ROAS, which basically what it means is how much I've earned from the campaign divided by how much I've invested, you see this amazing percentage, and it all came directly from the campaign. And if we look specifically on the last 2 weeks, during the crisis and all that's happening, we see that the campaign is still super successful and brings amazing results.
Amit, I have to stop you for a second. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Can you go back one? I'm just amazed by the numbers. Did you mean that they spent $60,000 and they earned how much?
No, so they spent $700 and they've earned $60,000.
Oh my God! And this is only from Facebook, from Facebook ads only?
Only from Facebook ads, from the campaign that they've created using our tool.
And this was during Corona times?
Yeah, so you can see that a big chunk of the revenue came during the last 2 weeks, because it has been running for a few months now. But we still see amazing results even during this time. So it definitely shows that you can succeed during this time. It depends on your type of business and how you're able to adapt, like I said before. But I think you can see a lot of examples of that. I'm going to show you another example of Ming Hair Wholesale, who sells a line of luxury products, skincare products, and then hair products. So she got look at the numbers. They're like almost 900 orders with a total revenue of $120,000. And she's only spent $600. So the results here are even more amazing. And we have many, many more users, such as these stories that I've just showed you. And it's really amazing to see.
Can I stop you for a sec? I just have a few questions from the audience. So they're asking if you can explain again what ROAS mean.
Yes. So ROAS, what it means is return on ad spend, which is it's one of the key metrics you want to look at when understanding how successful your campaign is. And what it means, like the calculation basically, is taking the revenue that came directly from the campaign and dividing it by the amount that you've spent on the campaign. And that way you can really understand how successful it was.
Great.
Is that clear?
Think so. Yeah, people are saying here they didn't earn 60,000. That's true. This is gross revenue. Your guys are right.
Right. So that's why we look at this metric of return on ad spend, because it's looking specifically about the impact of their ad. Obviously, they have their each business and how much it spends on other things, but definitely it's like an indicator of the campaign success. And before I show you how to use the product and what it includes, I want to talk a bit more about the Wix Advantage and what we offer that's different than what you can do, setting up a campaign directly on Facebook or in other tools. So the first thing is that, like I said, we've done a lot of research and a lot of testing on users, and we found that there's a specific type of ad that we see that is most converting, and that's the type of ad that we offer using our product. It's called dynamic product ads. What it actually means is that we create an ad that's synchronized and includes all your store catalog, like all the products that are on your store. And this type of ad is dynamic. So it means that each person on Facebook and Instagram can see a different version of the ad based on his interactions with the ad, his interests. So let's say that I saw the ad and looked at one of the products, then I would probably see that product again on Facebook. Whereas Ariel, if you're interested in other products, you'll probably see a different version of the ad. So it's a smart ad in that sense, and it's showing to bring a very high conversion rate. So we offer this type of ad. In addition, we handle all the technical side. So what this means is that you can focus on your business, you can focus on the main things that you need to do, and we're going to save you time. So I'll give you a few examples. In order to run this type of campaign, you need to do a few technical, there are a few technical tasks. So first, you have to make sure you have a Facebook pixel installed on your store. So what happens is that if you don't have one, we're going to create it automatically for you. If you do have, then we're going to use that one. In addition, we're going to take your store catalog and sync it automatically with Facebook. That way we can make sure that everything that you change on your site, on your store, if it's your product images or if it's the prices or you're uploading new products, we're going to make sure that it's synchronized and the campaign includes the most updated information from your store at all times. And the last thing is making sure you have, an advertiser, like a business manager account on Facebook where you can, that lets you advertise. So all of those things will take you time. If you do it yourself on Facebook, you'll do it manually. It will take time and it requires some understanding. We're going to do it automatically for you in our product. And the last thing, which I think is I would say the most exciting one. And I'm gonna explain a bit more about it also later on, is the audience targeting and testing. So we developed a smart algorithm that is able to automatically find the most relevant audience for your business. What it means is that we're using information that's given by you, but in addition to that, we'll create a lot of other audiences that are more likely to purchase your products. I'll give you a few examples. We can find users who are potential clients that are similar to the people who like your page on Facebook or on Instagram, or people who have already visited your site and interacted with your products. We can create retargeting, which means we can then engage with those people who interacted with your site. So in that sense, we create a lot of different audiences. And what we're going to do is we're going to automatically test each of them and see what's working best for your business. All of this is happening behind the scenes, and it's seamless for you. So I think that's amazing. And this is what makes this product so unique and so successful, because usually testing is key to success on Facebook, and we do that for our users.
Thank you for this explanation. We do have some questions, so I'd like you, maybe if you can summarize in a few words the advantages of using Facebook ads through Wix. So you said something about the smart ad. What exactly does it give you? Does it save you time? Does it make anything different? If you can elaborate on that.
Yeah. So I would say two main advantages. One is that it saves you a lot of time and a lot of headache, to set up the ad. The interface that you have on Facebook is not not necessarily, so trivial and so easy. And in that regard, we try to create the best experience for our users to make it as easy as possible to set up the ad. So it really saves you time. And also the expertise. So I think a lot of people today, a lot of small businesses, they have to, either rely on themselves and develop that expertise, or they hire someone, a professional or an agency, to help them. And in this case, we're the agency. We're that agent that does it for you, does all the optimization and learning process and making sure you get the best business results. So I think those are the two main things, like saving you time and saving you like that learning curve that you have to go through to get results.
That's great. And also, I have some questions about, do they need a Facebook or Instagram account to advertise, or everything
Yes.
is through Wix?
So everything is through Wix. You do have to have a Facebook page, a business page, an active one, in order to run ads. For Instagram, you don't have to have an account. So it's not mandatory, but if you do have one, that's great. But that's basically the only thing you need in terms of Facebook. Everything else happens on the Wix platform. All the setup and the tracking and monitoring of the ad happens on our platform, and you don't even have to go to Facebook to see anything. So I'm going to show you more of that in a second once we dig deeper into the product. Just one thing before we start seeing the product, I know you guys want to see it. Something that's important for me to emphasize is that before you're using Facebook ads, you want to make sure that your store is optimized. And basically, we like to call it ready for business. What it means is there's like a set of best practices that you want to make sure that you're following. So I'm going to mention a few of them. One of them is, I would say, it's the most important thing. That's your homepage, the experience on your homepage. So I'll give a few examples, making sure that you have very clear call to action button on your homepage, that you have all the contact information that your potential clients need in order to reach out to you. You want to make sure that the messaging is very clear, to the point, that the visuals are high quality and strong as well. And of course, the navigation itself, you want to make sure that it's easy for them to navigate and find what they're looking for. A few other things that are important are the product pages, obviously. You want to make sure that they're informative and useful and include all that information that your potential clients might want to find. Make sure you really invest in the images, in high quality images. I would say more images is better. Different angles, it always helps and improves the conversion. Other things that you might want to include is an about section that tells your business story, that shows that personality and that shows there's a person behind this business. Obviously, policies, FAQ, like frequently asked questions, is really important. And last thing is the contact us section, which you want to include all your business info. If it's your address, if you have a physical one, if it's the email, the phone number, whatever it is that can help people contact you. So it's quite a lot to take in, but I think that Wix offers a lot of material and a lot of articles on this in the Help Center and in the Wix blog, which I'm sure you guys know and can read more about. But this really affects the success of your campaign. So the more your site will be ready for business, the better the results will be. So that was important to talk about. And I'm gonna start showing you the product at this point. So any questions before we begin, Ariel?
Yeah, so we have a few questions, but I think we should start with the product demo, and then we'll get back to everything live.
Okay, so first of all, in order to get to the product, so it's under marketing tools in the sidebar, you'll see Facebook ads, and then you see this welcome screen that includes some information about the product. Once you click start now, there's an initial phase of connecting your account, your Facebook account to your Wix site. It's very simple. You just have to allow Wix basically the permissions in order to advertise on your behalf. So after connecting, you will see the different business pages that you're an administrator for, and you have to choose the one you want the campaign to run on. After you select the page, that's when the part of the magic happens. So at this point, we take your Facebook pixel or make sure that you have one on your site. We also sync your store catalog with and upload it to Facebook. And we create like an advertiser account on Facebook. All of this happens while it's loading. So this process for you is behind the scenes, but you should know that a lot of things are happening at this point. And then you get to this setup process that includes 4 steps. It's very simple. I would say that it can take a few minutes to really set up your campaign. So the first one is you'll be able to see a preview of your ad. It already includes all your store products. As you can see here, it includes all the details, if it's the names of the products, the prices, the images that are taken directly from your store. As a default, we include all of your store products that are in stock. That's really important because, like I said before, the dynamic ad that we create, it works better once you have more products selected, because in that way we can optimize and find the most relevant products to the most relevant people. So as a recommendation, I would say keep as many products as possible. In addition, you can edit the caption. So that's the text that appears on top of the images. And you can see the different previews. If it's on Facebook, on mobile, on desktop, or on Instagram, you can see it all here. If you do want to select specific products, you just click the edit button, and then it opens this this modal that includes all of your products. You can select or deselect any of them. And then the next step is defining your target audience.
Amit,
So,
I stop you for a second.
sure.
Some are asking, how do you get there if they want to say themselves, and maybe they don't see it because they don't have a store. So can you just explain who exactly we're offering this service to at the moment?
Of course. So at the moment, the product is open to only to store users. So only if you have a store installed on your site, you can access and see this product. We are, like, I can say that we are working on offering more types of ads in the near future, which means more types of businesses will be able to use the product and create campaigns. At the moment, it's only for store users.
Okay, because we've been getting some questions about services like bookings and restaurants. So this
Yeah,
is coming.
I can definitely say that it's coming soon. Yes, and that means that booking sites and also restaurants will be able to create campaigns to bring in traffic or to bring in leads. So yes.
So for those of you who have stores, you go to the dashboard, click on marketing tools, and then on Facebook ads, right, Amit?
Right, exactly. Cool. So the second step is defining your target audience. I want to explain more about what happens at this point. So as you can see here, you can define different things about your audience, if it's the gender, the age range, the interests, or the locations. So on Facebook, usually you have many more options, but I must say and repeat because it's really important, whatever you're gonna define here is just like the beginning. It's just gonna help us find the most relevant audience. But we're gonna create on top of it a lot of additional audiences. So you should not be discouraged or feel like you're missing options here, because at the end of the day, we're going to do a lot of smart things behind the scenes to find those relevant people. So like I said, it's lookalike audiences, which means people who are interest and shopping habits that are similar to your current audiences. Or targeting, which means people who already visited your site, already added an item to cart. Then we can show them that specific product and make sure that they complete purchase. So a lot of different things, a lot of things behind the scenes, and the results will be according to that. The third step is basically defining how much you want to pay on a monthly basis. So as you can see here, it's very flexible. It's starting from $79 a month to $500 a month. We're going to offer more types of plans actually very soon. So what this means is that each month you're going to pay this amount, and we're going to optimize that amount and make sure we maximize it and get the best results. You can also define the time frame for your campaign if you want it to run for 6 months or 10 months. You can see here some other questions that you might have regarding the budget. It's really important to say that our types of campaigns are built in a way that they should run for a long period of time, because we're learning constantly and optimizing, and we're basing that on the data that we get from the Facebook pixel on your site. The more time we have, the better results we can bring. So I wouldn't say this is a type of campaign that should run for like a week or 2 weeks just to bring in a boost in traffic or a boost of sales. It's something that you need to give time, you need to be patient, especially if you're a new store that doesn't have a lot of traffic or, or sales previous to this. You'll need to be even more patient and give it time. But definitely, like after a few weeks, you'll start seeing the results coming and getting better as you go. The last step, I would say it's not even a step, it's just reviewing what you've already defined in the previous steps, making sure that everything is according to what you've wanted. And then you can just continue and launch your campaign. You approve the payment details, and at that point, we submit the campaign to Facebook, and it goes through review. And once it's live, you'll be able to see this dashboard that includes many different metrics and stats in your campaign's performance. So I'll just go over it quickly. We have a section that talks about the ad engagement, which means all the interactions and engagements with the ad on Facebook. If it's how many people viewed, or how many times the ad was viewed, how many clicks were made on the ad, and then what was the impact on your store activity. If it's how many site visits came from the ad, how many items were added to cart, and how many orders. And on the right side, you can see the performance aspect of the campaign, which is how much you've spent so far and how much revenue you've already earned. At any given time, you can edit your campaign from the top section. You can also stop your campaign at any time. So it's really flexible in that sense. Like I said, we're learning and optimizing. So I would say the first few weeks, we don't really recommend editing because we do want to give it some time to learn and see what the results are. But definitely you can go in and tweak the messaging or, choose different products. So that's really cool. And then, once your campaign, starts delivering, you'll see the results coming in. We also make sure to update you if it's using emails or notifications in the Wix dashboard. So you'll be notified once you reach specific milestones that are important to know about. And you can always go back to this dashboard and understand your current status. Yes.
So you mentioned Instagram.
Right.
And some people are asking here if you have both a Facebook and Instagram account, will it automatically show on Instagram as well, or just Facebook, or how does that work?
Yes. So first of all, if you haven't, it will appear both on Facebook and Instagram, but part of that smart algorithm knows how to test and see if, what's working better. So if we see that Facebook is working better than Instagram, we will probably allocate, more of the budget and more of the, deliver the ad more to Facebook. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure you achieve the best results.
Okay. And in terms of fees, does Facebook charge an additional fee on the ads on top of the money spent through Wix?
Yeah, that's a good question. So everything happens on the payment is done on our side. Like I said before, we need to look at what we're doing here is basically we're the agent, we're the agency. And what we're offering is that continuous optimization and constantly recommending and making sure that we find and get the best results. So the monthly budget that you've picked inside the product that ranges between $80 to $500 already includes a 50% fee that goes to Wix.
Sounds good. I have some more questions regarding budgeting. Okay, I think you answered that already. I'm sorry. Does the budget we pay to Wix covers the cost of Facebook?
Yeah, it covers all of it. And I would say one more thing, which is important as well. Because I know like a lot of people are used to investing, starting out with a few dollars or something that's a bit more conservative. So if you look at the budgets that are monthly budget and you actually look at the daily price, it's a few dollars. So that's what you would usually like invest. We we want to make sure that you get the best results. So we're not going to tell you run this ad for 2 days because we know it's not going to be successful. So it's really important to understand that this model and this patience that is required is what gonna get you results. And I think each business needs to, I mean, obviously you can start conservative with the lower plan, but when you think of it, it's not so crazy. Cool. So what I wanted to share is that we're also working on a mobile version of this product. We know that many of you, don't have the time and you want to track the campaign as well on the go. So actually very soon we're launching Facebook ads on the Wix app, on the Wix mobile app, which will allow you to see all your stats or your campaign stats on the go. You'll also get, some like push notifications and different messages based on your campaign results that are going to help you understand what to do next. So that's coming up very, very soon. And like I said, we're really trying to keep in touch while the campaign is running and to make sure you get the full picture of how the campaign is doing. So every week you're going to get a weekly email that includes like a summary of the top results. And also once you reach milestones such as, you got the first order from the campaign or the first item was added to cart. So we're going to notify you by email. And that way you can really know what's happening. And I think we covered most of the things, but if we haven't, I'll just review some important good to knows. So like I said, the product today is available only to Wix stores, but soon we're gonna expand and offer more types of ads for other types of businesses. You need to be a site owner to use the product. So at the moment, you need that permission, to go through the setup and the payment in Facebook ads. At the moment, you can run one campaign per site. There is an option to run campaigns on different sites, like I said, but there are like some limitations. Like you have to make sure that you run one campaign on one site in order to create another one on other sites. That's one of the limitations that Facebook has. And the emails and notifications that I spoke about, they're all going to be sent to the site owner's email. So that's important to know. I think I covered most of it, and I would love to hear some more questions that you guys have. So we'll just head over to the Q&A.
Sure. Thank you, Amit. That was a really good explanation. But we definitely do have a lot of questions. I tried to divide it into some sections. We got a lot of questions about the ad editing. Like if we create the ad itself, or do you create it, or it's just the product itself, or if we can change it. So if you can elaborate about that a little.
Okay, so like I've showed you before, the ad is like this carousel that includes images of your products. In the creative part is not that flexible. You cannot upload your own creative. This is the type of ad that we're using that we know is very converting. So we handle that part. The only thing that you need to know is that whatever you change on your store, if you're adding a new product to stock, or you're changing the main image for your product, that's going to be reflected in your ad, in your campaign. So it happens automatically. So that's something that you should know. And yeah, I recommend like any changes you want to make, you can do it on your store and just not worry about what happens on the ad. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. There's more questions, but I think let's try to cover some more topics and then go back to, if we have the time until 6, then I mean, depends where you are, and another 15 minutes for that, and if we have time, we'll get back to it. So, for example, some people asked about the types of audiences you can target, like if we do the lookalike, for example, or a local targeting.
Yeah, so we do all of that. We do lookalikes. We do specific like if it's a local audience that you've defined inside the product, and you said that your best audience is people from New York between ages 20 to 30, then we're going to use that data. It actually really helps us because it gives us like a head start. But in addition, like at the same time, there are more types of audiences, which like if you would go to Facebook, you would create that yourself. You would do like a lookalike audience, which includes people similar to your audience. You don't have to do that here. No need to worry about that. You can focus on, your business. We will create that audience and we will test it and see if it's working better. So definitely we're doing lookalikes and much more than that. Yeah.
Cool. I saw a few questions about technical support. If I have a problem, where do I go? Do I go to Wix or Facebook?
So good question. Like we offer, support for this product. So at any given time, you can contact us and open a ticket, and there's a dedicated team that's gonna help you with any issues regarding Facebook ads. So we're definitely like the address with any issues in the product. And more than that, I think there are you can find in the Wix Help Center a lot of useful articles that are explaining about the product, how to use it, and I think that should cover most of the things that you might experience.
Cool. Are there any other resources that our users can learn from?
Yeah, so like I said, I think that mostly like the Help Center, the Wix Help Center. It also includes like both articles. There's like a how-to video that explains more about the product and the setup process. Yeah, I would say that's the most useful information that you can find about the product.
That's great. There's a question about if I can use Facebook ads to all of my Wix websites. Is it per website or is it for all of them?
Yeah, at the moment you can run one campaign per site. So you cannot run multiple campaigns on the same one at the moment, but definitely for different sites, you can run different campaigns. But like I said, there is a limitation of you need to, launch a campaign and like have a running campaign on one site before you can create additional ones. And that's something we can, it's like a technical limitations from Facebook side that we have to follow. So yes.
Very good. So of course they want to know about the behind the scenes part. What can you tell us?
So I like to call it magic because I really think it is. It's like it works amazing. It's so it starts, like I said, from doing all the technical stuff behind the scenes and like making sure that you have all that you need to advertise. And then like once the campaign is live, it's just, finding the most relevant audience, by testing those, you know, all the different options, and testing different placements. If it's, you know, Facebook, Instagram, if it's, you know, mobile, desktop, like we constantly try to see what's working best, and make your campaign more efficient, and basically get you the best results. So it's I think it's amazing for like a small business who doesn't, you know, we usually don't have the time for that, like to invest in that and to test things ourselves and to become, you know, experts in marketing and in advertising. So I think this tool really does it for you, and that's like the behind the scenes, which is you know, amazing.
Great. So I have a few questions about, I think we answered those. If it's open for bookings or for my blog sites or for my restaurants, but we covered that. And for now, it's stores. But in the future, you are going to open these verticals too, right?
Definitely. Yes,
Right.
definitely we are going to do that.
I see a question here from, I guess, from a more experienced customer. He's asking that what if he does want to do some A/B testing? Can he possibly do it manually?
So at the moment, using our interface, there's no option to do your own like A/B test, because we don't want you to do that. We do that automatically, and it's based on, you know, like AI and a lot of machine learning and a lot of data that we've collected over the years and that we know works best. So I would say that the wisest thing to do is to just let the testing part, you know, be done on our end. Um, I'm sure that in the future we might offer more options, but at the moment I would say that like letting the algorithm do what it does best is the best recommendation I can give.
That's really good. Um, I see again about a question about timing. Is this a good timing to advertise online? This is a tricky question. Do you want to
Yeah,
try
it's
answer?
I can try. I think it's hard to say. Like I think it depends. It depends really on your type of business and the types of products that you're selling. We do see that in some industries are really like are doing well even at this time. Um, if you're, you know, selling food or beverages or, you know, home stuff for your home, I think that there are types of businesses where it's very relevant for this time. You do need to look at your business and what you can offer and how you can adapt and adjust to the you know, to this time. And I think that's really important. Also the messaging, like whatever it is that you're gonna say, you want to make sure that it really takes into consideration your clients and what they're going through. And but like I showed you before, there are a lot of success stories even during this time. So it just shows that it is possible. Um,
Right.
but
I see some confusion with our user, with our audience about the payments again, the payment fee. If you can go over it again and maybe explain again, like how our packages go and what is the Wix fee.
sure. So I'll actually go back to that screen. So the prices, the prices that you see here are the monthly budget. This is the amount you pay each month, and it includes it already includes that 50% fee. The rest of the amount is going to be invested on your campaign on Facebook and on Instagram. So it's a monthly price that, you know, is being renewed each month, and it includes that both the fee and the ad spend, like what we're gonna spend on the ad itself.
Great. And the week's fee, if you can clarify that, because people are asking is if it's 15 or 50.
It's 15, sorry, 15%. Yes, no,
Okay.
no,
One,
not 50.
one five.
1.5, yes.
Yes. Okay, great. I think we covered a lot of the questions, which is great. We have some time to go back to the ads themselves. So if someone has only one product, can he have multiple pictures on the ad?
So at the moment, no. At the moment, if you do have one product, then you can still run your campaign. There's no minimum, like the minimum is one product, but it will just feature the one image that the first image that you have in your product page. At the moment, it's not supported, like showing different images. I'm pretty sure we're gonna offer that in the future.
Perfect. Talking about the future, you mentioned other verticals that we're going to use, but what about other products? Are we going to also advertise on Messenger, WhatsApp, maybe Google?
Good question. I think I would say it is in our plans, like it's something that is in a pipeline and that we're looking into. Um, we really believe in testing first and seeing what works best and what works for small and medium businesses before we develop and offer products. So I can say that it's something we're looking into at the moment. And if we do find that recipe that works good for these types of businesses, will definitely offer that. So stay tuned.
Definitely. We got a lot of questions, but I feel like we covered most of the topics. We are going to try and answer all of them right now, so we can stick to like a few more minutes after we hang out, and we'll try to get most of your question answered, hopefully. But we are going to stop the broadcast, so we want to thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish everyone, I mean, to stay healthy. And I definitely hope your business will succeed and you can increase your sales as much as possible these days. I want to thank the team for answering all your questions in the background, and of course, Amit for running this presentation. Amit, anything to add?
I just want to thank everyone. It was a pleasure for me, and I really hope it's gonna help you guys with your businesses, and hopefully we'll get through this time and come out stronger.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.